Okay, so this story is a scary story with Ray Ray or whatever, but like some of these are going to be things that I heard that scared me that I think are real. I don't know what to think about. This one I heard from a Navy SEAL. I know for a fact he was a SEAL. I saw him in pictures at buds and shit with people that are known SEALs. And this person and I fucked. To be honest, well, he fucked me. He liked he liked fat trans women for whatever reason. There's a lot of these like really alpha dudes that really like me for whatever reason. And pillow talk with all of these people is usually interesting. And maybe that's half of why I'm so interesting. I don't know. But this was the strangest thing I've ever been told by anyone ever. And like, I don't know if he's a psycho or if this is legitimately a peek behind the curtain. But this Navy SEAL dude said that his unit got deployed on several different missions in the Middle East where they were Navy SEALs guarding oil wells. And it was the weirdest thing. They got issued special weapons and special equipment and whatever, and they weren't concerned about the oil well being attacked from the outside. They were concerned about shit in the ground. And the weapons that they were issued were some sort of specialized copper weapons. And this person was saying that the main reason why most U.S. military or foreign military, any military ammunition is still copper jacketed at this point is because of this. And the thing is that he said occasionally when they're drilling for oil in the Middle East, they hit a subterranean tunnel. And whenever they do this, sometimes this tunnel is empty, sometimes things come out of this tunnel. And the things that come out of the tunnel are humanoid, but they're bigger than us. And they're pretty much immune to bullets and swords and all of that shit, but their weakness is copper. And that's why we copper jacket our bullets now. It's like a fucking Wolverine thing, or not Wolverine, a werewolf thing with silver. It's these weird things that live in the Middle East, apparently underground. Like, I don't know exactly what this has to do with the oil, other than they're digging around underground for the oil in the Middle East and they happen to hit nests of these things. But these are a real thing, apparently. This same person had all sorts of other stories that maybe we'll get into some of those someday, but we'll focus on this one for now because he was saying that the things that they were issued, they had baseball grenades that had weird paint on them that apparently instead of being made of steel were made of copper or some shit, and they were just designed to fragment and send copper fragments into these things. He said that they had a net launcher that was a copper mesh woven net that apparently if you hit one of these things with it, it would just collapse on the ground and start having seizures and shit, so you could take them alive. I'm like, Jesus Christ. He said that they were kind of bluish in pigment and that they were 7 to 9 feet tall, somewhere in that range, depended on the individual. I'm like, Jesus. Like this story is one of those stories that makes me question what is real or not. And like, this dude could have just been fucking with me, 100%, but he had really no reason to. And I've heard plenty of other weird stories from him and others. Like, this is the thing is I guess I like to fuck macho guys or some shit. I don't know what it is. Like, they're sexy and they're into me, and they like to pillow talk. And a lot of the guys that I've had pillow talk with over the years had very interesting stories about being in the Middle East. Let's put it that way. And it makes me really wonder what the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan were really about. Like, I think we needed forces there to do something, but I'm not entirely sure what. And like, it's not whatever they fucking said. Like, there's obviously the poppy fields in Afghanistan happened, but I think that was fucking Big Pharma's side gig. Like, someone decided that it'd be a good idea to have, Big Pharma sell a bunch of pills. I guess I don't really know who did that. Like, there's a bunch of this that like it seems like it was an orchestrated takedown of the United States. But at the same time, what if everything we did was because we're not being told the full truth because of the giant blue people that come out of the ground in the Middle East? Or the 100 other things that I could talk about that are like this. Like, there's weird shit in Antarctica too. There's weird shit in a lot of places. And I think one of the big lies of this planet is that we know everything about this planet. I think that we don't even know all the species that exist on this planet, and I'm not even sure we know about all the continents. I think there's some arguments to be made about some places where hidden continents could be. That's a discussion for another day, though. Um, this is the single strangest story I've ever heard. I've heard about similar shit to this from a couple of different places, and I don't know if this is misinformation or not. And that's why I'm making this a scary story, is because to me, this is fucking terrifying. He was saying that these things, when they come out of the ground, they're bigger than us and they don't have projectile weapons. So their main go to thing is to pick people up and rip them in half. And this is why, you'd be like, oh, well, obviously there's wounded from this or whatever. None of the wounded from these engagements ever live, because the way these things fight, they literally rip your arms and legs off and rip you in half and eat your head or some shit. Like, there's nothing left of you after these things are done. They like eat you. It's not so much like a fucking person that you're fighting as some sort of like cave troll. And this is the stuff that, like, I don't know, there's a lot about what Tolkien wrote that makes me question, like, what he was trying to do in writing that whole book series. What did he know? I guess, because some of the stuff that I hear in the wings and shit is very Tolkien-y, like these cave troll things. And like, how would these have escaped all human knowledge? And my thing is, they didn't. There's all sorts of legends about all of this stuff, and I think basically every myth or legend that you've ever heard has some root in truth. Like, even vampires and werewolves and shit like that. Like, those are, I can explain those some other time. But some of these I think are literally, there are some old world shit that we don't have here, that we don't see, that even in the old world now they're rare. Like, we killed most of them. But occasionally, if you go digging in the deep, dark places of the earth, to quote Tolkien, you find evil. I think that's what these are. And it's it's crazy to me to think that we're not alone on this planet. It makes me wonder what else is here. What could be living in Antarctica that, is a species of something that doesn't even need heat? What could be living in the ocean that is alien, like Kaminoans or Kaminoans? Depends on how you want to pronounce that. Well, I hope somebody liked this. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe and hit me up on Patreon. See you later.